Hello and good morning. Good morning from Spain. This is a very special breadcrumbs project. This is a special request from some friends, and so honoring that request, we are doing a special video. We are not going to be doing sorry about that. We're not going to be doing any questions today in the Hey Realist. We're not going to be doing any questions today because this is from, like I said, a special request that has come through the line, and we're honoring that request. So let me fix my cameras here. I've got a new camera set up that I've been working on, and I've got to make some adjustments. So bear with me as I do this. All right, I'll just transition over anyways. All right, guys. Hi. Good morning. This is a special request from some friends who are looking for a little bit of clarity in what I see in the queue. And by the queue, I mean the organization, which will soon be ending its mission on the 29th. They've announced and suddenly that their end of mission is the 29th. This correlates very strongly with the date of 28th that we've gotten from Partha and from Muhammad, who both come at it from different ways. So this is a third possible acknowledgement that something is coming up. So I've been talking about this picture a lot, and this picture is part of the great map of the queue, and we're going to go into analysis of this today, and we're going to do it very quickly because I have a call from Partha, and then I have the live stream coming up. But this is what we're going to be talking about. Now, the sun is the center of this queue piece, but the way I came about the queue is through the part of mental and spiritual states, and that was my entrance into the queue and to the queue phenomenon. So let me bring this up real quick so that we can work through this entire situation. All right, so everybody that is involved or has broached the queue is familiar. Let me make that a little bit larger with the queue map, and the queue map is impressive. I mean, by itself, it is absolutely impressive. So let me bring this up and transition it over. So anybody who's involved in the queue is very familiar with this map, and this is the blown out version. So in the bottom left hand corner we have Q, which is the biggest font in the map of this very complicated and very layered and very structured map, and it has a code to it. Q being the biggest letter and being the biggest part of what this map is about, and the organizer is at the base of this map. Then if you go right above north, and north is very important, you see the secret space program, and there is it's obvious to many of us that there is a secret space program. Why? Because a couple of days ago, it came out through not the normal media, not the normal NASA um, channels, that our planet for the last 30 years has been losing a significant amount of its magnetic shield. It's the shield that blocks us, that blocks many things from the planet. Meteorites. Um, we see the aurora borealis in the northern hemisphere, by the way, and that is energy that is interacting with the magnetic shield that our planet has, which is so incredibly unique and very, very powerful. So it protects us from a lot. That's why one of the great reasons that when reentry happens, it is such a volatile thing for the space program and creates such heat, because the shield is so powerful and it keeps our atmosphere in. So there is a secret space program, because we've also had a lot of release of information about Comet Atlas and Comet Swan. Those names are not casual. They're not happenstance. They have their own history in astrology. And the way I came about understanding this is through Partha, who has been explaining to us astrology and astrotheology, and not just from an Indian perspective, but from a global perspective of all of the religions, because there is a synchronicity in all of the religions. So as we travel farther north in the map, we go to the Great Awakening, and this is what everybody that is in the queue just keeps saying and mentioning. We really don't have we have all of our own ideas of what the Great Awakening is, but we really don't know what it is. We really, really don't know what it is. If we follow the queue, then we can get some ideas, but we can't visualize it. Whoever is doing the queue has visualized it perfectly, because we go a little bit farther north, and here we see the Great Solar Flash. So the Great Solar Flash has great significance to many religions, but especially the Hindu religion, because they talk about a great solar flash in their religion, and especially the eschatology. The Muslims, whose entire religion is based on prophecy, they speak of an EMP, a great solar flash on the 28th. They have a date on which to expect it. And we had a devout Muslim from another country, from a Muslim country, just come to visit us one day, a couple days ago, and you can go see that video, and he just casually mentions, yeah, we're prepared for an EMP the 28th. What do? We prostrate ourselves. No, he didn't tell us exactly what country he was from, but he didn't castigate us. He didn't call us infidels or anything. He just said, look, I'm sharing this with you because this is what we are seeing, we are expecting. So there's just so many indications of a global event happening on the 28th. And how do we know the sun is the source of this? If you go out and try to look at the sun right now, it's impossible. It is absolutely impossible. You get blinded, even if you're wearing sunglasses. And well, it's always been like that. Well, no, it hasn't always been like that. We are a humanity that loves sunsets. And I lived on the beach for 5 years. I laid out in the sun for 5 years. I watched the sunset. It was just fabulous. It was yellowy when it was going down. And I'm in Spain, on a coast of Spain that has great religious tradition going back to the Celts. And one of the things that was just that's so wonderful here is the sunsets, and now they're just unbearable. Sunsets are truly unbearable. You cannot go out and enjoy a sunset. And this just happened over the course of 3 months, over a month, I would say, for me, as I've noticed it. So, so the sun is acting up. It's just not normal. And we have at the north here the great solar flash. Partha has gone into great detail why the north is so important. and he expects our globe to tilt and the North Pole to point towards the sun, and that's going to cause the great solar flash. And if you get out and measure the sun, our wobble is way off. Our sun is setting way far north. So and it has been doing this for the past month and a half. We've had several people pointed out we cannot get to any standardized uh, uh, solstice sites, supposedly due to the COVID, especially Stonehenge, to see where the actual setting of the sun is. We can measure it there. That's well established. But private security protects Stonehenge 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we can't take that measurement. And nobody's taken that measurement at home in the past, but everybody can look at the sun and know that it's setting too far north. So in the north of this map, we have the great solar flash. And looking at it, to me, my left hand, looking at left hand, stage right, if you're an actor, let's zoom in on my area, and that's right here. This is what I understand of the queue. The whole rest of the queue, I've got no idea. I have no clue as to what it's about or what's going on. So, you know, that right there, it goes without saying. I don't know. I don't understand it. But my area, I do. So let's go look at that. And here it is. And let's zoom in on it like we rarely do. So I came into this just right here. I noticed mental and spiritual states. Mental and spiritual states. If this is a government psyops, they're just not going to pull in yoga. They're not going to pull in mental and spirit. You just don't want to mess with that stuff. You don't want to have those people involved in your conspiracy because they're volatile, man. You can't control people's spirituality. So if this is a psyops, you stay away from that. But my thing came in, mental spiritual states, practice meditation, compassion, forgiveness for all beings, and that just screamed at me. All right, yes, I can dig that. And then I came down here, prophesied in every historical religion. Partha and I, that's where he and I meet. He practices yoga. I'm Jubu. I'm Jewish Buddhist. His faith is rooted in Hinduism, which is the oldest written faith that we have that still practices um, um, astrology and astrotheology. Every religion in the world was based on astrotheology. All of them, and they still have traces in it. So even though when Christianity started rolling around and started calling everything that has to do with astronomy work of the devil, no, it was every religion. But of course, Christianity looked at every other religion as the work of the devil. So goes history. But Christianity never was able to entrench itself, although it tried. In India, Hinduism remained strong, so the tradition of astrotheology remained strong. And all of this below the religion, Greek fire, yoga fire, they all have the same fire. If you practice your religion, you will be okay. All of this is a straight line up and down. But it gets to here where I just didn't really see this. Up north of the sun again, north being the strong thing. I've looked at this map again and again. I've talked about it in so many episodes, but I did not talk about the great solar flash. It was like that was invisible to me until yesterday. So again, here's the great solar flash. Survivors prepare for solar flashes. I've been doing that on my channel. I've talked to everybody possible and said, look, just prepare for this. I have 2 months worth of supplies on hands. That may be a lot, but I recommend at least 2 weeks. But if you can pull together 2 months worth of supplies, imagine yourself not having electricity for 2 months. So anything that involves a refrigerator, and if you have a electric heating system, anything that's electric, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be working. I think that's part of the of getting everybody's attention is that we're going to go back to the old ways for a long time. So that is my prediction. The United States of America, starting in March of 2019, has been preparing for an EMP, which would be a solar flash. A solar flash would be an EMP. There's no doubting that now. So survivors of the Great Solar Flash will depend upon their mental and spiritual states, practice meditation, compassion, forgiveness, the three things that I keep saying. Think good thoughts, say good things, and do good deeds. This is all prophesied in every historical religion. Again, every historical religion. Christianity really is new on the scene. It was compiled. So I don't look at it as a historical religion. Nothing wrong with Christianity. Let's not go there. This is what is written here. We're talking about the Hindu practice of religion. We're talking about ancient Judaism, which was based in many ways in astrology. We're talking about just every religion that has an astrological history talks about a great solar flash. The Hopi scream about it. So here is where we start to see where the solar flash comes from. This is the sun, the soul. You know, are we soul? Is SOLE also SOUL? Because they're both pronounced the same, all right? And I just made that connection just now. So maybe part of our soul has to do with the sun, and that's why we shouldn't be afraid of the solar flashes, because our soul could be part of the sun, and the sun, as it says here, is a conscious living being. Again, to the right of it is a great solar flash. There is a cosmic web. We see the cosmic web, and I'm going to be wrapping this up really quickly. We see the cosmic web in great renditions from NASA that every galaxy is connected by filaments of the fourth state of matter, which is charged particles. And if you look at it, it looks like a brain. Plasma. So all of the solar systems and all of the galaxies are connected by the fourth state of energy, which is called plasma. And if you look at it, from NASA pictures, the filaments and how they connect, it looks just like how the brain connects and all of our neurons, and it just looks like neurons. And plasma, blood plasma, energy plasma, is there a correlation there? Soul, plasma, cosmic web, and then finally Stargate portal. I don't know about that. So there we are, guys. I have to wrap this up. This will post very quickly, hopefully, and it is early in America. And I say that in many, many ways, in quite a bunch of ways. This could be the dawn of America. So today's the 26th. This is 48 hours from what we expect as an event. So let's all do what we can to be prepared for such an event and get ourselves ready. What do? Pray, meditate. If you're so inclined, get 2 weeks to 2 months worth of supplies, dry goods and water, especially, and then probably you want to withdraw enough cash that you would expect that you would be comfortable with having at home, because it's not that the banks are going to lose your money. The banks are just not going to have the ATMs active for a couple of weeks. Those will be one of the quickest to get up and going. How is this going to affect hospitals? It really won't, because once power goes out at a hospital, they have backup generators, and those backup generators have at least 2 weeks worth of fuel, worth of diesel fuel. So there we are. That's everything that I can give you that I know. I have no official connection with the Q. I've never dealt with any person of the Q in any informal or formal way. We have people that interact with some of our members that work with the Q, that provide information, answer questions, but they have no greater information on it either. This is just an analysis of part of the map that's been screaming to me and keeps getting louder and louder and louder day by day. Make of it what you will. This is Breadcrumbs Project. I have to sign off of this. And guys, if you have any questions, please come into the thread and ask away. And thank you so much for listening. And we'll be back up soon. Again, thank you everybody so much. This is the Breadcrumb, signing off for now.